Good morning, everybody. Natalie coming to live. Spirit and coffee, Kama coffee here. So yum. So a couple things. Didn't get on yesterday, and there's a great reason for that. I have been feeling totally like poop. Um, I have. Let's see. So yum. Okay, good. The audio's coming up great. Yeah, I just so I'm having iron issues. So for those of you who don't know about me, of course I tell everybody everything about my life. I have nothing to hide, right? You know, but anyway, iron issues. And so what happens when I get iron issues is that I become very, very, very lethargic, very tired, very worn down. I could see it in my face. My face becomes very pale, very um the color of my face leaves. My legs feel fatigued. I get grouchy. It's really weird. I get agitated. I don't know about grouchy. It was just like agitated. Everything agitates me. Noises, and it's just not a good feeling, right? And so I was like, oh my god, I need to go to the doctor and get my blood work done, and I did. And of course, I need to probably go get an iron infusion, and that's just like about a 3 to 4 hour procedure where I just sit there getting pumped with iron because I have none. I mean, I laugh, but it's actually not funny. It could be a real detriment to my health. Good morning, Mel. So, literally having issues with iron. So I didn't get on yesterday. It really, what happens when your iron levels are low is that you tend to you just want to sleep. Like that's how I feel. I want to sleep and never wake up. It I hate to say it, and this is probably gonna maybe shock people, but it feels like the best way to probably go to the other side, pass away, because it really just feels like you want to just sleep. And so that's how I've been feeling lately. And I can see it in my face, right? It's really it's not fun. So hopefully I will be in to get an iron infusion. They might have me do an emergency one once the doctor sees my results, which are terrible. Anywho, that's why I was not here yesterday. But in the journey, oh, I'm chronically anemic. Yeah, I hope you feel better. Yeah, the chronic anemic. Um, so I don't know if you know much about blood. I'm just going to explain it on here. People will be like, "What are you talking about? This is Spirit and Coffee." But um, my iron levels, my hemoglobin, which is it's a 9, and that's low, but it's not terrible. But it's my ferritin that ends up being an issue, and the ferritin is your iron storage, and my iron storage is almost at 0, which I shouldn't be laughing. It's not funny, actually. It's not a good thing. So I need to probably go to the hospital and get an iron infusion. Hopefully today, and hopefully they can get me in an emergency one because I feel like poop. So there you go. I haven't been feeling very well, but I don't care. I continue to go, and that's part of life, right? It's like there are these things that happen in life. Nobody's life is perfect. We all have our struggles. We all have our battles. Some is health, some is mental, some is familial, some is marriage, some is whatever it is. We all have these issues that we have to work through. And it's rough, but at the same token, if we have this hope and we have this inspiration within us, and we're like, yes, I have these things that I'm working towards, sometimes what it does is it allows us to continue to live on, to actually really live out our divine purpose. And so for me, regardless, like, yeah, okay, so I feel like crap and I might have to get an iron, or not I know I'm going to have to get an iron infusion. I just know it because otherwise I'll die. It's not funny, but I laugh, but it's not funny. But I have to get an iron infusion. There's just no other way. My body's not absorbing the iron. And so, but there's hope. And it's funny because when I first got my emergency infusion for my iron, they looked at it, and every single doctor, good morning, Deanna, how are you? Every single doctor was like, oh my God, how in the hell are you standing? Like any other human being would be on their ass. And I'm like, oh, I work out, I do everything. And they're like, what do you mean? So literally, my iron was so bad that the doctor said if you would have gotten into an accident, you would have died on scene. You would have had no blood. I don't understand. So I don't know if my body just was not designed for this earth. I'm an alien. I'm not supposed to be here. Or I'm struggling to be here somehow on this planet. But when I first got my iron infusion, and then I got my iron infusion and things were going downhill, but that didn't stop me from working on the goals that I had, right? There was that. And I think that that's why the doctors were freaked out, but I wasn't freaked out because I know me. And that's the thing. It's like sometimes we go through these hard times, but if we have something to live for, if we have something to work towards, if we understand that we have a goal and we have these dreams and that we're working towards something, then it's easy for us to have that hope and inspiration and continue going. And that's with any situation. And that's what I've been talking about as we move and transition into this new era. There's so much going on, especially in the United States, right? It's like crazy 101 is happening here, and people are going like, what the heck is happening? Like, people are freaking out. People don't understand. And I can go off on a tangent on the paradigms, and what I will go and continue to talk about the paradigms, because I think it's critical right now for the education of individuals. People don't really understand what's going on. They kind of understand what's going on, and there are those that are very spiritual that will say, God's plan, and it is. That's me. I believe in God's plan. It's going to play out the way it's going to play out. And sometimes I'll just sit back and watch and eat popcorn while people go crazy because they're not really, they have a role to play. Everybody has a role to play in the transition into the new era. So if there are people who are going crazy, or there's people doing stuff that you're like, whoa, I didn't even know humans could do that kind of stuff, and it gets crazier and crazier and crazier and crazier. You know what I'm saying? We could just look at it and say, oh, every character has a role to play. This is God's plan. And that's the way some people believe. That's a worldview. From the paradigm perspective, right? There's a transition that we know that the old ways don't work. And so people are fighting for a new way. They want something new. They want something fresh. They want a whole new paradigm. They want to step into something that's going to elevate them, that has meaning, that's not just a 9 to 5. Like, people are starting to realize that, we went from the modern era to the postmodern era. Now we're transitioning into something different. However, people don't necessarily transition easily. Change is not easy for people. It's not an easy transition. And the reason why, because people are so attached to things being comfortable. They want it to be comfortable. They want things to be comfortable because it's easy that way. And that's okay. But change doesn't happen in comfort. Change happens in the discomfort. When there are things that are uncomfortable, that helps us to grow. That helps us to understand what's next. We break through barriers, right, when we do that. And so basically, when you're going through the heartaches or the hard times, if you have a goal and a foundation, if you're set up, right, then it's not as hard to transition because you can focus on the things that you bring joy to, right? The things that ignite some inspiration inside of you. So looking at those things. So because my iron is messed up, that doesn't stop me from actually doing these things. Yesterday it did, and that's okay. It wasn't a stop completely. I didn't say, oh, I'm throwing in the towel, no spirit and coffee for me. I've been doing this forever, even when people don't watch, even if no one's paying attention. I do it because I know it's my divine birthright. It's my calling. It's what I'm supposed to do. And God said, here's your instruction. I said, good. And I went with it, right? Because it was this internal thing. It was the connection to the soul that I'm going to continue to do this. Why? Because I'm here to serve. I'm here to serve humanity. I'm here to support people, right? I'm here to support. That's it. It's merely a guide. I liked it. There was somebody who, I'm going to read this quote because it was pretty cool. And I'm taking this class. So if you guys knew all the goals that I was up to, sometimes it sends people's heads spinning. It sends my own head spinning. I just keep adding more stuff because I'm like, ooh, this sounds fun. Ooh, that sounds fun, right? We're here to live life. Live life. That's what we're here to do. Live. Enjoy it. And I think we take it too serious sometimes. And I'm not saying that there's not serious things going on. And I'm not saying that there's pain, but enjoy life to the fullest. Take opportunity, seize the moment. Why not? You deserve it, right? So I'm taking this class and it's to be a facilitator. And I really liked what the lady said. Don't be the sage on the stage, be the guide on the side. And I love that because that's what I feel like. I'm not a sage, I'm not a guru, I'm not your Messiah, I'm not the prophet, I'm not the this, I'm not the that. I am just a guide, period. End of story. Not a sage. You know, for me, it's very hard for me to follow people because they become the I know it all person. I don't know shit. I'll tell you that right off the bat. I don't know anything. I'm a beginner all the time, but I enjoy learning. I enjoy discovering. I enjoy reading and hearing other people's perspectives and the curiosity of life itself and how people explore it and see it. And, you know, nobody has the same way of seeing the world. People tell me, Natalie, you live in a fantasy. I said, I don't care. My fantasy's fun. And you know what? I can see people on the outside looking in, wanting to live that same fantasy. And we all have it. We all can. That's the purpose of this. That even in the struggles, in the battles, in the chaos, and all the crazy, that we can still have goals and we can still work towards something, and that hope is still there. It doesn't disappear. It lives within us because it's our birthright. God gave it to us, right? Creator, whatever you call it, the universe. It's something that's a part of us. It's in us. Hope doesn't leave, right? When Pandora's box was open and hope was released and all the chaos with it, it was there to remind us that even in the chaos, there's a calm. Even in the chaos, we can work towards something. We can find our grounding, our footing. So even in this sickness, right? For me, it's okay to take a pause. It's okay to take a time out. It's okay to say, oh yeah, I literally couldn't make it yesterday. Why? I didn't feel good. I had to go get my iron work done. That had to be most important, right? And then I'll get an iron infusion and I'll be okay. And everything is all good. And I'll continue. But I didn't stop working out. I still worked out yesterday and I still ate healthy and I still continued on my journey of the goals that I have. And as soon as my iron is figured out, I'll do Kung Fu because now I want to go into Kung Fu. See, that's the beauty of life. Tap into that childlike innocence within you, that tiny little child within you. I love Baby Yoda. You know, I'm going to go on a tangent about Baby Yoda because I give Baby Yoda means, okay, Grogu. I know everybody gets mad where there's a battle about what his name is. I call him Baby Yoda. I don't really care. People get mad at me, say I'm not a follower. I don't really care. I'm not here to battle. I'm just here to say Baby Yoda. And I feel it. I feel when I see Baby Yoda, I feel it. I feel the expression. Why? Because there's this curiosity inside me that doesn't leave. You can tap into that curiosity. Good morning, KS. Good morning, Tika. Good morning, Mac. Good morning, Big Life. I don't know if you guys are still on here, but good morning to you guys. That childlike innocence that still lives within, that still dwells within. It's like tapping into that, right? And just figuring out the magic of life. I mean, you would think that I was a 5-year-old child sometimes, or you would think that I was a teenager at times, just because of my spirit, because I'm so intrigued with this world. There's so much. I mean, there's the chaos and all that, but there's also so much beauty and intrigue, and I inquire and I want to know, and I'm curious. It's a true curiosity of how things work and why people are triggered by certain things, and why are they upset about this, and how come that, and why this, and it's a bunch of questions that piss people off, I'm sure, sometimes. But it's that inner child in us, that inquisitiveness, that, ooh, what's this, to tap into that allows us to continue to focus on our goals and gives us the hope to move through the pain. Because even in pain, I laugh. Even in pain, I can find something that's good about it. We take it too serious sometimes. And there's times that I do too. There's times that I'll be like, oh, I'm mad. And I'm going to stay mad. And this time I'm going to really stay mad. But I'm not one of those people. That's not my natural tendency to be mad or angry at somebody. But I'll let it be known at times. And then after, I'm like, okay, get over yourself. Like, this ain't worth it. We can love and forgive, and I can love and I can forgive even the most crazy stuff, trust me. But when we look at life and we see like what is happening, right? And we see that there's sort of this shift in life, and we're going through our own pains, and maybe it's health issues like me or whatever, we still have hope. We still have that ability to create our own reality. You really do have the ability to create your own reality. When you think about it, we left the creation of this world in the hands of very few people. We let them tell us what the story was. We let them tell us what the creation was. We let them lead the way. We put them on pedestals and said they must know something. Well, you know something, but you have to have that inner strength, that inner pride, not pride as though, oh, I'm better than, but the pride that says, you know what? I have something to offer the world. I see the world, and why is my view of the world less important than somebody else's? You've got to understand that the people that shaped this world are people like Plato. Like, we have it in history books. They're the ones who wrote the story. His story, right? They wrote the storyline. They observed the world. This is what they did. They looked at the world and they said, oh yeah, that's a tree. How is the tree to come? Well, oh, let's see, there's roots. And in the roots, what happens to the roots? There's chaos in the roots, but out of that chaos comes order. They merely observed natural law. They merely observed God's creation, and they came up with their own ideas about how it operated, and then they told people. That's really what they did. If you put it in the most simple form, they experienced the world, they looked at it, and they said, oh yeah, that's how it operates. Let me tell people. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to put it in some scholarly journals. I'm going to publish this. I'm going to tell the world this is how the world works. And we accepted it. We said, oh yeah, that's how it works, because they must be smart. Well, you have a way that you look at the world, and your way that you look at the world is just as important. I'm not saying it's 100% correct. There are facts, right, as well. But this reality that we created is not really a reality. It's just a creation of reality. It's something that, it's an expression of what we think reality is. It's not really real. And what I mean by that is, again, if you take away technology and you throw it away, we're still going to live on. Technology doesn't define who we are. It assists in getting our message out there. It assists in us being able to communicate and define who we think we are. But who are we really, right? So again, you guys have your own individual stories. your own individual expression of what this world means to you. You have that ability to look at the world and leave your mark, leave your understanding of the world. And that was one thing I did in my master's program, because in consciousness, which I think that that's probably the direction I'm going to head when I'm going to get my PhD eventually in this. But when I look at consciousness itself, it lends to the dialogue. It gives some meaning to the dialogue, to the expression of the dialogue that's happening. Dialogue has changed over time. The way that we express ourselves has changed over time. We're no longer using cuneiform text. We're no longer chiseling things out. I mean, we still do that, but we have pen and paper. We write now. Now we have computers and we type. It has morphed over time. Language itself has shifted into something different. English is a new language. It's new. I mean, when you look at the old language, right, you have these old native tongues that don't even speak or express the language that we do. Sometimes we don't even have words for the things that we want to describe. Language has morphed over time. And because of that, the dialogue shifts. And because of that, the way that we experience the world changes, because we are expressing and articulating our expression of the world, how we see the world, what we see around us. And then when you think about all of these scholarly people who have created what we see today, had Einstein not been heard, had Tesla not been heard, had Socrates not been heard, and you see these guys, these are all men, right? They were telling the story. We wouldn't be where we are today. When we look at quantum physics and all of the physicists that have added to the dialogue or the conversation, right? There was a battle between two scientists about classic physics, quantum physics. Quantum physics is the reason why we have the technology that we have today. But that storyline wouldn't have been developed had we not looked at it through language and through experience and through observation. You have that same skill. There's nothing special about these people. We put them on a pedestal like they're special. They're just humans and they're looking at it. But what they're doing is they're not allowing the craziness to dictate how they view the world. It circles right back to what I'm saying. Just because my iron is messed up, just because my health is not good, doesn't mean that I'm going to stop focusing on the very thing that I am working on. People give up too easily. They give up on their goals. They give up on people. They give up on everything. They just give up. They throw in the towel and they just say, that's it. Why? Because they haven't tapped into the true essence of who they are, that they matter, that they really do have the skill. So you guys have the ability. You guys have it within you. You have this strength within you. You have the inspiration and motivation, and everything that you need is within you. And I know that probably sounds like cliche, but we'll go to coaches, and it's good to have a life coach. I love life coaches. I'm a life coach, and I love going to my life coach friends. Because why? Because I like coaching, because it gives you a powerful question to live in. But we'll pay people to help us be inspired, are motivated, or set our goals. We'll try to figure out, well, what's wrong with us? Why is it that person can do it? Why can't I do it? The reality is it's the mindset. You don't believe in yourself. That's really it. You just don't believe in yourself. The other person does. They're like, I believe in me. I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing. I don't care if nobody's coming. I'm going to go. That's my journey. That's my path. And sometimes we walk alone, but sometimes people join us. And then sometimes people leave. Think about Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. I've talked about that before. She's on her own personal journey. She has Toto. So sometimes we have pets. Then you're going to have your little puppy with you. But along the way, she finds her friends, which it's really her internal self. All of those characters are her. And we find people along the way. But selling yourself short, thinking that you're not powerful enough, you are. You have the power. And if nobody told you today, you're a badass. So there you go. It's like, look in the mirror and be like, you know what? I'm a badass. I'm going to leave my mark the way that I know how. I'm going to leave the little pieces that I can. That's what I do. I'm just going to leave a little bit. And hopefully it helps somebody. If it helps no one, that's okay. It helped me. But I'm going to do it anyway. Even when people, I've had people ridicule me on here. I've gone through the ringer. Trust me. I've had people say stuff. I've had people not like me. And you know what? I love them anyway. It's okay. They don't have to agree with me. At the end of the day, that's not the point. The point is that you are a badass and that you have enough and that you can do it and that you just got to tap into that inner self that says, hell yeah, I got this. And I see the world this way. And you know what? Sometimes I'm not going to have fans and it's okay. I'm not here to stroke my ego and fan my ego. I'm here to do my work on this planet and leave my mark the way I'm going to leave it. And that's it. What dialogue will you leave behind? I could leave a dialogue behind that says, oh, it's too hard and I was too sick and I couldn't do it. I just couldn't. I was too sick, right? No, I say, you know what? I'm sick. Get your shit together and let's just do it. Let's go. Even if it's not pretty, even if it doesn't come out the perfect way, let's just go with it. I'll come on here looking like a mess. And for those of you on podcasts, I do Facebook Live. So sometimes I come on here and I'm like, I'm a mess. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. I'm not here to look pretty and to get likes by the way I look. I'm here to support people and hopefully they get the message. I try to look presentable so that it's not so hard to look at. But at the end of the day, it's here. It's to leave a message behind. And I can stop all that. I make excuses and say, well, I was sick and this and that. Yeah, you take a pause. I took a pause because I felt sick. But you guys are enough. You guys have it, okay? It's pushing through and understanding there is hope and focusing on what you want to create. What do you want to create? Do you even know what you want to create? That's a big question. Do you have a clue? Do you know? Self-actualization. Hi, Big Life. Sorry, I didn't even see that. Sometimes these messages come a little bit late. Hi, Veronica. Hi, Emma. Oh, I didn't see all you guys. I don't think you guys are on here still, but good morning anyway if you are. Self-actualization. Yes. And I don't know if you're on here, Big Life, but yes. So, Stoner. Good morning, Stoner. It's funny. So continue on with your badass self. That's all I'm going to say. Keep going and remember that you have it within you. I know it sounds a cliche, but it is the truth. When you start to dive deep into your subconscious mind, into you as a person, you stop paying attention to all the crazy on the external because you realize there's a whole lot of crazy on the internal. And when you realize there's a whole lot of crazy on the internal, and you're like, oh, you know what? I could spend the rest of my life looking at my own crazy and trying to understand that. Good morning, BGG. I'm just gonna study my crazy really quick. I'm gonna look on the internal for me and see what's going on there. And I can guarantee you, you're gonna have enough to last you a lifetime. You don't need to look at anybody else's crazy. You have enough yourself. I guarantee it. I know I do. That's why I focus on myself. And then what does it do? Good morning, the Line of Mind. What it does when we start to focus on our own crazy, on our own self, we stop focusing on everybody else's crazy. And then we start actually creating goals for ourselves and we start to live through our goals. And then we start to create stuff. And then we become the creators of our reality. Rather than living into the reality that somebody's painted for us. Right? Again, people tell me I live in La La Land. I live in the Richie. Good morning, 111. What you're living in this world that's good morning, Veronica. You're living in this world, this fantasy world. I said, that's okay. I love my world. I love my world. My world loves everything, even when it's frustrated with some things. It circles back to love. Well, how do you do that? How can you do that? Well, I can do that because that's what my world says. Remember, you guys have the ability to do that, to create your own reality. And that's where we're at right now. There's literally the structure and the model and the administration, especially in the US, is going down in flames. Why? Because we know it doesn't work. Whoever built it, created that storyline that we totally bought into, okay, is not working. It's not working. If it was working, we wouldn't be in total chaos right now. It's not working either way. So people, the consciousness is asking for a different way to view the world. But guess what? Nobody has a different way to view the world right now. Good morning, Zainab. Good morning. Oh, Lingalanga, how are you? Good morning, Omid. Good morning, Chill Will. So, it's no longer working, and people want a new way. And the thing is, and here's another thing. I kind of laugh at this. I'm going to leave with this, and maybe we'll talk about it one day. But, people are so quick to say, we need a new system and da 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 da. They can't even fix themselves. They're not even fixing themselves. And they want to go and fix a whole nation. Come on. I'll be like, first of all, how is your family dynamics? Have you communicated with the people that you were pissed off with? Right? The reality is, good morning, Rev Danny. The reality is that we want to go and fix things, and we can't even fix our own self. Go fix yourself. That's what I want to tell people. Go fix yourself. Go fix yourself first and see how that works out for you. People say, who's gonna do this? Who's gonna lead us? And who are you? Why don't you ask that question? Who am I? That's a big one. Who are you? Right? There's bigger things at play. I want to sing. It's late here. Sing when? Love your show, Nat. Thanks, Lingalanga. Yeah, Lingalanga sings, and we love Lingalanga sings. Except every time you sing, I can't go on. You just do it so randomly. It's kind of like me. I mean, I'm random, but not random. This Nat, but I'm awake now. I love you guys. We love inbred shows. Mayet Nat? What's MYT now? I know what that means. So you guys have it within you. Oops, in the shadows. Oh, that's okay. Oh, no, then. You guys are awesome. I do want to do a show where we call in. It would be awesome. I think Lingalonga, he called in once, and we had a little hoorah. Yay. To get the insights of people, let's talk. Yes, you know what? I would. Madiki, is that how you say it? Oh my God, I'm sorry if I butcher your guys' names. I totally apologize. I'm totally. But I don't. The only reason I don't do call-ins during this morning session or Spirit and Coffee is because I do a Facebook Live, and then they wouldn't be able to hear you. At least I don't think they would be. I guess we could try it because I'm wondering if the audio would go through Restream. But I do it live as well on Facebook, and that gets, hey Breezy, that gets sent to YouTube and all that. And so that's why I typically don't have people call in. So I want them to be able to hear as well what is going on. So I don't know. It would be much more functional if we can talk and have conversation. I agree. I totally agree with you. Especially with the podcast. The beauty of Spirit and Coffee, right, is that I do want to have a conversation and a dialogue. The problem is I am not technically savvy. And so it took me 500 years to figure out the technology to get myself streaming live. And it messes up sometimes. And it's just me by myself. And I don't know what I'm doing. And that's the truth. And there you go. And so I want to continue to have open dialogue, but then I would have to figure out how to do it through Facebook or just do your thing, Nat. Yeah. You ever really grasp with psychology? Thanks. I have a good grasp on my own mental problems. Sorry. I've been laughing. Here's another thing. I know this is going a little longer, but you guys, I've been laughing at myself all week. It's been hilarious. Like, I've just been having fun with life. And like the whole world seems to, well, at least in the Western world, seems to be burning down. And I literally have been laughing at myself. I've been laughing. Yes, I will go check out a few songs after the show. Absolutely. I would love to. And I've been laughing at myself. Good morning, Amy, 970. I'm laughing at myself because I have a sense of humor. And I sometimes I don't want to take life too seriously because there's so much seriousness. And so I've been on social media a little bit more than I probably should be. And then I've been kind of sassy on there and like laughing about stuff and joking around and stuff. But life is funny. And I think that we should have a little bit more fun in our life, right? So bring back the fun. And yes, go listen to Lingalonga, play his music and have fun and dance around. That's what I did last time I listened to you. I was dancing the whole time because, it's fun to laugh at ourselves is what Breezy says. It's fun to laugh at ourselves. We do so much alone. That's funny. That's when, yeah, I know it's true. I do stuff and then I'm by myself and, I have conversations with myself and I laugh at myself. It's weird. People probably think I was a crazy woman. Like she's mad. And I'm like, yeah, I probably am. All the best people are, right? They're a little mad. I'd be having tea with the Mad Hatter. So there you go. And thank you guys for showing up. Again, you have it within you. You guys are badasses. That's all I want to say. Please continue to work on yourselves and really, really, really set the foundations for your life, what's important to you. And don't let things get in the way, okay? I'm always say I'm not crazy, I promise. Don't know. That's funny. I promise you guys, okay? So I love you guys. Have the best day ever. It's Friday. Oh, I forgot it's Friday. So have the funky, fun, fantastic, phenomenal, freaky, funky, fabulous Friday. And of course, I will be seeing you guys. You're a badass girl. Thanks, Breezy. I appreciate it. Namaste to you guys. You spot it, you got it. So have a great, great, great weekend. I will see you on Monday. Hopefully I'll have my iron infusion and I will be 100% Friday. I'll have 100%. I'll feel better. 100% better. Okay. Love you guys. Mean it. I will see you soon.